Welcome everybody to Nix and Axe. This is Maria. So today we're going to be working on a holiday centerpiece, and these are the materials we're going to be using. I wanted to go with sort of the green and gold theme, and I also want to use some of the like garland green pieces as well as the very shimmery, like this lace, like these little ornamental pieces that have that shimmer in it, so that I can have something that will be really pretty at the table and will sparkle. Now, this is just sort of a concept, an idea. You feel free to use whatever you would like, whatever fits in your home, or if you're going to be doing a piece for maybe for a friend, for a family member as a gift, you know, feel free to use whatever you would like. So this is kind of like, you know, build it as you go. I have an idea of what I want it to look like, but I may or may not use everything here. So let's get started. Let's just kind of go through the materials first. So first I have a wood piece here. It's just extra scrap. My husband builds wooden flags, and so he had this extra piece, and I thought, I could use that as the center for the centerpiece. And so this will be the base, and I stained it. This was just natural wood. I stained it with this coffee Minwax coffee color stain, which, by the way, I stained it, didn't wear gloves, got a little bit lazy, and then so therefore you're gonna see my hands all looks like it's dirty, but it's really the, you know, the stain. I'm gonna be using the glue gun. I'm also going to be using some of the metal wire. It's coated with that green color, so it doesn't come through with as I'm using them. I think I'm going to use most of the, for attaching the pieces, I'm going to use more of the glue gun, but there may be some pieces that I, you know, like maybe this where I want it maybe to hang a little bit more, so I may have to use that wire. We'll see. In terms of the base that's going to go on top of the wood, I bought this garland piece at Walmart for about $7. It's actually 9 feet. That's the length, and it's not lit, and that's fine. I like to use different types of lighting, so the little small sparkly lights, the traditional white lights, some of the warm lights. So it's better to just, you know, get something that doesn't have already the lighting in it, so you can adjust and use as you go. So I have that. I'm going to be cutting this up, so I'm not going to use it as a garland. So I'm just going to use that, take snips, and then add to the piece as I need it. I'm also going to use this really pretty reindeer, and I thought this is really pretty. This is going to be that sort of like centerpiece that's going to stand out. And it's that glittery yellow. This was from the Dollar Tree. I'm sure other dollar stores have those as well. I'm using that yellow again because the theme's going to be the green, yellow, a little bit of that sort of Snow White. And then I also have this mesh ribbon, and I'm going to incorporate that into the piece. I actually got this at Walmart just yesterday, and it was on sale. It was 50% off, so I think I got it for a couple dollars, so really good deal. And then these were also from the Dollar Tree. These are those glittery yeah, kind of like Christmas tree pieces. I may use whole pieces, I may cut them up, so you know, we'll work as we go with that. And then I have this one that's attached to me. It's also really glittery. This I actually had at home. There's a place I live in Southern California, and there's a place where you can kind of find everything for weddings, parties, and all that. And so I had a bag, and so I thought maybe I can add some of these pieces to that. And then I'm going to use this dry floral foam. That's going to sort of be the starting piece in there. I'm going to glue it to the wood, and then I can start attaching those pieces around that and build off of that. This is also, you can find it at your local dollar stores for about $1. And then some of the ornaments that have the gold and the silver are a little bit of like that frost white, so it's going to be really pretty. I also have some of these decorative bells I'm going to add throughout to just give it a little bit of that, you know, whimsical, traditional holiday look. And then I have this one green pine cone that I found that I haven't, in the past I've kind of used lots of pine cones in my trees. This one was tinted green, and I thought, well, that kind of goes with the theme. So we'll see if we use it. If not, you know, we can set it aside for another project. And then in terms of tools, I have some of these wire cutters. I have my scissors. I have a few of the brushes just in case I need. I think I'm gonna want to frost some things, like maybe this, I may frost it with a little bit of the gold to kind of match with the theme. I have gold metallic spray. I may, you know, want to add a little bit more of that sparkle. May want to do that. And then a little bit of the snow spray. So the snow spray, I got it at the Dollar Tree. This, I got it at the local big box store. So that's going to be all of our tools for right now and our supplies. And then if we need any others, maybe just, you know, give it a little bit more punch, make the centerpiece a little bit bigger. We'll see. And I will, you know, tell you as we go through those if we do end up adding some more. But let's get started and let's see how this turns out. Okay, so here I've got the setup with the piece of wood, which is right here. I've got the dry floral piece. Now, I was going to use the entire piece, and then I thought about it. I think it's just too high, so I'm going to actually cut off about 1/2 inch off of this and just use a serrated knife. It's very simple. So I could use this for something else. All right, so now I'm going to use the glue gun, clear out some of the stuff here. The glue gun to add a little bit more to the floral piece here so that I can attach. And this is not cooperating very much. Here we go. Let's try this out. Like that. Hold it for a few seconds so that it actually is secured. And then we're going to move on to sort of the bottom pieces. I want to cut out some of these long pieces like this out of the garland that I bought at the Walmart, and I kind of want to show you. Now these are pretty heavy duty, which I love, but you do need a little bit of force in there. You need a good tool that will cut really thick wire, and I've got this really big piece here. Not sure, part of my husband's tools. I will put the name of this particular tool in the description box. And so I'm going to use this to start and cutting. So you go ahead, use your judgment and of how long you want those pieces. I kind of want to keep it a little bit consistent, and so if you see here, I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little branches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so I look for that piece of where I can actually cut. And I always cut, tip here, I cut right at the edge of where that next little branch starts. And so that gives me that extra little piece of wire that I can use to insert into the foam. So this is not going to cut the piece all on its own like this, but this gives me a little bit of a starting point. So I press on it, and then I bend back and forth a couple of times to kind of make it a little bit, there we go, a little bit soft, and it pops right out. Other thing you can do is do the same thing. Start with this big piece And then I have one of these smaller ones that probably a lot of folks have this laying around in the house. And then you can use that and kind of crimp a few times until eventually it pops out. So that's how we can use, and look, this is a 9-footer. I mean, I'm gonna use, right now I've cut about 4 pieces. I might end up using 5, but we're still gonna have a lot left that you can use for so many other projects. So I love that. For $7, you can't beat that. Okay, so now I wanna test out and make sure that my phone is secure, and it is. So we're gonna start kind of playing around with these. So these, they come really flat. So you gotta bring life into them. Kind of move them around. Think about how nature would have them set up, and so then you do the same. And I hope that there's sun that's actually coming through behind me, so I hope that you guys can see what I'm doing. There we go. So kind of spread these out and make them look a little bit more natural. Okay, and then we're gonna start, oh, I'm losing my ribbon. Okay, so we're gonna start kind of thinking about where these are gonna go. Maybe something like that. Maybe something like this. Maybe have a piece towards the front. And can you see that starting to shape up already? So a couple things to keep in mind. So depending on where you're gonna place the centerpiece, if you're gonna put it up against a wall, then you don't have to worry as much about decorating the back part. However, if you're gonna use it for maybe your holiday dinner centerpiece, maybe Thanksgiving centerpiece, in the middle of your table, you want to make sure that you're going to cover all sides, because your guests are going to be sitting in every single direction, and so you want to make sure that you cover all sides. I actually want to use it for a centerpiece, so I'm going to do both sides. I think that's going to work out. So just without gluing anything, I'm going to be playing around, and you can already see how beautiful this is going to look. And so, remember this piece? I told you I want this to be this amazing piece that's gonna stand out. So this has glitter front and back. So I have to start thinking about where exactly this is gonna fit. And so I think I wanna do something like this. Doesn't that look stunning? I mean, just a few pieces of this garland, one main centerpiece, and it's already taking shape. Beautiful. So then I have to think about, okay, where do I think I want these decorative pieces? So doing that, just kind of thinking. And this also helps me to determine how many of these decorative pieces I'm going to need. And then also helps me, and don't forget, I'm doing the back as well, because this is going to be seen from all directions. And so this is going to help me when I start setting these pieces without permanently, using glue, hot glue, or sticking them into your floral foam. Helps me kind of to see, do I have enough decorative pieces? Do I need to add? And then it gives me sort of a dry run, if you will, so that I can make sure that I am gonna absolutely love it once I make it permanent. Well, this piece here is not cooperating, but I think I'm gonna add one there. Okay. And it's too heavy, bottom is too heavy, but once we glue it, it'll stay in place. And then remember, I have these other pieces as well. So these I'm probably gonna cut and start kind of adding into in the areas of where I need to cover up that floral foam. So anyway, so here we go. So I think starting position will be the green pieces of garland. We're gonna start gluing those. Then I'm gonna go with the decorative pieces, which is my yellow or gold and silver decorations, and my reindeer. So let's get started on that part. Okay, so here's what I've done so far. I'm using this as a sort of holder for right now for this reindeer piece. So here's what I've done. I took the reindeer and I inserted its front legs into the floral foam, and then I added some hot glue to help it stay in there. Now this is just the front part. So if you notice the back part here, see how this doesn't get anywhere near the foam? Totally fine, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this piece of greenery, and I'm gonna, when I hot glue this piece here, I'm using the greenery to grab on to the leg, and then that's another point where it will be held. Now when I do those 2 points right here, I glue them. You notice that this is still pretty heavy up on top, so I'm going to continue using some of the garland to help secure the piece in place. But first, as I said, we're going to do the other leg. So I'm going to use this as my holder for right now. That's going to give me some help here to help keep this. So I'm going to glue gun. And so anywhere I'm gluing these pieces, I'm going to, you know, keep that in mind, because then that's where I'm going to go and add the filler, those extra decorative pieces to hide all that. So here's another point right around. It's going to help me secure this in place. Oh, and here's my reindeer, top of the reindeer trying to escape. So I'm going to give that a few minutes to dry. But then now I'm going to add the other piece. So I have, this is why I tell you when you cut these pieces off, see how you have that extra little piece, because you can use that to insert into the floral. So I'm doing that. I'm going to use this little piece here, I'm going to insert, and I'm going to use that as support for my reindeer back here. And I'm going to look for those areas where I can naturally add the foliage under the reindeer. That will also help it to give it some support. So here, see, I'm inserting that little piece right under its feet, and then I'm inserting that hook right into the floral foam. And so that helps to give it support, so when it wants to move back this way, it helps it. Now, however, I'm going to continue securing, so it's not going to do that, but you want to make sure you think about all those different areas. So again, we're going to glue gun right into that spot, and then I'm going to also secure this piece right here with just a tiny bit of the hot glue so that it's secure. And then again, once you put these in place, move around the foliage where needed, so you know, so it looks like it's natural. Move it around. So now, so we've got the back secured, we've got this end secured, and we've got this end secured. But now, what about the front? Where is this going to go? What about if it flops to the front? So we're going to do exactly the same thing. And we're going to give it some support this way. So again, I'm going to use that little piece, that extra piece that's hanging here that I left in there. I'm going to twist it, make it like a little hook. This. And then I'm going to insert in the front. And now I'm going to use the greenery. I'm going to move it around. But this is going to be supporting the front part of the reindeer. Isn't that pretty? I mean, that's already starting to look stunning. So I'm really happy about that. I love it. So now I've got another piece over here that I think I'm going to add in the back. So let me turn this around. Turn it around so you can see what that back looks like. I have it on top of this piece of cardboard because my white pretty little tablecloth, I don't want it to get stained, because remember I actually stained the piece of wood. It should already be dry, but just in case, I thought I'd put that little piece of wood down there. So this is the back, guys, see? So I think this is going to need some support as well. So I'm going to do something like that. Okay, so we're going to do exactly the same thing we did with the front piece. So this one, I only have a little bit of that. See that? Just a tiny bit. So I'm going to have to get a little bit more creative here. Twist, twist, twist. There we go. See, it's not as long as the other ones, but I think it'll still be fine. And go like this. And so go as far inside as I can, because I want it to have enough support. Here we go. So these pieces right here are holding up the deer right there. So again, go back in with that hot glue gun into those spots where you've connected into the floral foam, because that's going to help secure that. Okay. So there you go, guys. First step of the centerpiece done. So recap, we've got the baseboard that was just natural wood, extra piece of wood that I had laying around. I stained it with a coffee color. I cut some of the garland that I bought, those pieces. I had this centerpiece, 99-cent reindeer glittery. I had the floral foam, so we connected all those pieces together. So this is almost there. The rest, it's adding the accessories. So sort of like when we put on a dress, we put our outfit, and then what's left, you know, we've got to do our makeup, we got to add our earrings, and so that's sort of what we're going to do with this piece right now. So that's next. Okay, so now, as I mentioned, we're going to add the decorative pieces to our centerpiece. I moved it out of the way for right now because I want to show you a couple of things that I'm doing to prepare these decorative pieces to add to our centerpiece. So I had some of these pine cones. Earlier I mentioned I have this green one and I thought I'd use it, and so then I thought maybe we should add a few more, not just that one. So I have some smaller pieces, and what I'm doing is I added a little bit of that gold, that metallic gold, and then I also added some of that snow spray. And so that actually matches, kind of goes with my theme of these decorations of that silver, snow, and that gold. So I thought that would be kind of cute. So let me show you how I did that. So here's one that doesn't have anything. And first I sprayed a little bit of that gold. Move these pieces out the way. And I do sort of a close spray because I also want it to get inside of the cone, not just the outer areas. So I do a little bit of the front, on the sides, like that. Right, and then you go ahead and do as much as you want. You could also do just gold. You could do some gold, some with that sort of, you know, snow flocked effect. So it's all to your imagination, however you'd like to do it. Again, this is going to be your centerpiece. You're going to be giving this away to somebody maybe. So whatever you like, feel free. And so then I go back with the snow spray and I gently flock it. There we go. Just a little bit here and there. almost like it's been kissed by snow, just tiny little bit. There we go. So there you go. And then I thought with this green one, I'm not going to use the flock look. I'm just going to add a little bit of that gold. Since it has a green base, I thought, you know what, that gold is going to pop and it's going to be really pretty. So just moving it around. Again, I'm spraying very closely because I really want it to get into those in the inside of the cone. So there you go. Or maybe a little bit more here. It looks a little bit like, there you go. I don't want it to look like we've got lines in it. I want it to look natural. There you go. So I think this will be perfect. It's going to match with our green, gold, and silver look. Now, I remember earlier I mentioned I had these pieces laying around in the house, so I'm going to use some of these. So these actually, this one was included here and came in like 3 pieces, so I took that piece out, and then I'm going to do the same thing here. So I'm going to use scissors to kind of go in there, and it's okay. It will remove some of the little glitter pieces, and it's fine because you're not going to see that. That's going to be inserted into the floral foam anyway, and I'm using the metal cutters, and so it's okay if you actually take off a little bit of the decorative glittery pieces in there. This one's a little bit stubborn here. Cut some more. There you go. All right, so I'm going to use these 3 pieces in there, and these, what I like is that you could bend them, you could twist it just in any shape that you would like. So I really like that. And so I think we're all set with those pieces. Now these, I mentioned I got them at the Dollar Tree. Again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take off a little bit of that piece at the bottom because my floral foam is not really thick. So remember, I even cut it down a little bit more. So I really don't need those full long pieces of wire. So let's do that. Take that off. And there we go. So now I'm going to start adding that to my centerpiece. And here's that beauty. There we go. Okay, so we're going to start playing around just as what we did earlier to kind of test and see what looks pretty, what we want to do, kind of what direction I want to add some stuff. I'm going to do the same thing here. Maybe do that there. Maybe add some of that on the other side. Remember, I'm doing a double-sided one because I want to use it for like a dinner table centerpiece. So I want to have decorative pieces all throughout. This one, maybe I'll do it more like this. This one, that, and we'll look back here. Maybe I'll have this one sticking out a little bit so you could see it from the other side. Let's see if I like that. And then maybe, actually I'm going to move this one around because I only have one piece left of this piece, so I'm going to use it sort of in the middle. That gives me a more decorative and balanced look. There we go. And then I'm also going to be using some of that that ribbon, that metallic ribbon. And what I've done, I kind of want it to make, I want it to kind of give me that effect of a like a snow globe or, you know, a decorative round piece. So I thought I could make it more round, not so much like a ribbon. So I'm gonna look where I can add these pieces. So something like that maybe. See that? So let me show you how I did these. So I did about maybe, let's see, about 1, 2, 3, about 4 inches of ribbon. Now these are very long, and I took the wrapping, but I want to say 1, 2, 3, 4, about maybe 5.5 inches wide. So I don't want to use up too much, because then when I crunch it up, it'll, because it's really wide, I should be okay to not use really long pieces. So here we go. I cut that up. It's almost like a little square. Okay, and then I fold it in half. And then I kind of make it like a scrunchie. So there you go, like this. Okay, and then I use some of that wire. Make sure you grab all the pieces, all the edges. And so I use some of that metal wire to wrap it. And so this is very simple. I'm sure most of you guys have used it, but this has like a little clip right there, built-in clip. So I take as much as I want and I clip, and there you go. Very easy, especially when your hand is all tied up with trying to hold your ribbon here. So, and you just wrap all the way around. There you go. What I like about this is because it's green, it doesn't stand out too much. So perfect. So I'm gonna make a few more of these. I'm gonna find their little spots where I want to add them, and we'll be right back. Okay, so I made 4 bows. I made some small, I made some big, and so I've kind of positioned them where I think I want them. So I'm gonna go ahead and start hot gluing. And so I think I like this one right in this position. And so I'm gonna put some of that hot glue back here and glue it to the garland piece right there. So I'm gonna hold it for a few seconds so that it actually sticks in there. Sometimes the ribbon, because this has a lot of, it's, you know, almost, it's mesh ribbon, the glue kind of seeps through and then it falls outside of the ribbon itself, and then it doesn't really stick. So give it a few seconds before you let go of it. And then this one right here, the same thing. So go ahead. I'm going to try to go as far back in here as I can, as I want to glue into the foam. So there, hold it for a few seconds. Better safe than sorry, because you don't want to move around your piece and then, you know, everything starts popping out. So give it a few seconds and hold. There you go. And so let me turn it around. I'm going to show you where I positioned the other pieces. So see, I've got those there. And so same thing. Find the place where you want to attach it with the glue gun. Go back in here. And hold it for a few seconds. And you see how it's starting to take a lot more shape. I love it. I'm gonna love this combination of colors. I like a lot of the silvers, kind of like, you know, snow, Christmas look. But I'm really loving this here with the gold and the natural green. So I am really excited about this piece right here. And find a place again right there. Hold it securely in place. and give it a few seconds. And I think that should be good. Oh, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, sometimes this mesh ribbon, that's what happens, is that the glue kind of seeps out and then goes into other places you don't need it. So good to hold it down. Am I good there? I may add a little bit more back from this side because I can see there's some hot glue there, but just in case, I'm gonna give it a little bit more there. All right. Okay, so again, don't worry, we still have bare spots in here, and it's fine because we're gonna cover it up. We've got decorations still that we've got to add in there, and so all that will go away. And then remember, we still have lots of garlic, so we can always add a few more of those pieces wherever we think we need to kind of fill in. So let's start with this one. I actually think this is pretty long. When I was testing it, giving it that test earlier, I noticed that it was too long. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut. Oops, lost one piece there. I'm gonna go ahead and cut a little bit, and then I can find other places. So here, remember this one's got the wire. Don't really need to hot glue when I first put it in. However, I do add a little bit of hot glue once I've kind of added, because it helps to secure the piece. So there we go. One right there. This one, maybe from the top, from back here, you're gonna see some of that on this side, and you're gonna see it on that other side. So love that. Double duty there. And so I'm trying to go for that look, like this reindeer is out in the woods, and so you see all your trees and everything around it. So I'm trying to give it that look. Let's see if we can accomplish that. Look at that, how pretty. And so maybe this smaller piece, and I cut a little piece off of this because I do need the stem so I can actually insert. And so let's see, maybe add some of that here so it looks like it's part of the little branch that's sticking out here. Some of that. And then we're going to do the same thing right here. We're going to cut these pieces shorter. Cut a little bit more here. Woo! Losing it again. It's almost like you need to wear protective gear so that you're not losing an eyeball or something. There you go. So I'm going to turn it around once I kind of show you. Once I add the back pieces, I'll turn it around and show you. And we'll continue working that way. Okay. And then I've got one piece here. Let's see. I kind of want some of that maybe in this direction here. In there. Yep, there you go. Look how pretty. Wow, that is looking stunning. Okay, so now we're going to start adding the other pieces. So let's do that. Look for a place. Again, I first look to see, can I add this? That's perfect right there. So I always test out to see, how does it look? Is this a good place? Because once you hot glue, especially with these pieces right here, It's hard to just, if you pull off, you may pull off other pieces and you don't want to do that. So better to be safe than sorry. With other things, I have no problems hot gluing. You can always take it off. But with these like this, I don't want to ruin the pieces. So let's see. How about we find a place right here? There you go. So again, this is your piece. Whatever looks pretty to you, go for it. This is just to kind of give you an idea of what you could do. But whatever colors, whatever type of ribbon, whatever type of decorations, you do what you like the most. So I think from this side, I may add one more. And you know where I think I'm gonna do it? I'm gonna do it on this end, like right here, because I do need to cover some of that hot glue I used to secure the garland piece, because that's the piece that's holding down the reindeer on this end. So I did add a little bit extra glue because I want to make sure it's not going to pop out or it's not going to fall down, and it's very secure. Of course, you know, I'm moving it here, but it's not going anywhere. Remember, we inserted it into that floral piece and we added hot glue gun, and then this right here, this piece is holding that down. Each of these garland pieces are holding the, you know, the piece up. So I think we're in good shape. That is not going anywhere. So now I'm going to, oh, see this one? It's moving. I've got an ornament that's trying to escape, so gotta make sure it's fully dry before I let go of it. And then that way, when I'm moving around the piece, when I, you know, as I'm decorating my dinner table, or, you know, I could use this anywhere. You could use this at an entryway. If you have a nativity set, you could, if you have it on the floor, this could be on the side piece. I mean, there's just so many ideas, so many things that you could do. So that's there. So now I want to add some of these fun cones, pine cones. And again, take a step back. Take a look at your piece and say, okay, where do I need to cover up some stuff? What's it? So first one that I'm looking at, and I'm going, yep, this one definitely needs to go in here because I will need to cover up stuff. There you go, right there. And use lots of hot glue guns. This right here is pretty heavy, and so I want to make sure it's not going anywhere. So I'm using plenty of hot glue. Look at that. I mean, that is gorgeous. I can't believe this is, I'm sorry guys, I'm talking and not facing you guys, but I want to make sure that this dries in the position that I want it to stay in, because that can happen. You guys know that if you don't secure the piece and wait for it to dry, sometimes it'll move around, and so I want to make sure. There you go. So there. And then I'm going to use another pine cone. Now I want to use this big piece, and I think where I want to use it is back here, and so I kind of want to give it a little bit of a swoop here, like go in the direction of this branch. So I'm going to have to hot glue the side of it, because that's what needs to get secured. Oop, there you go, just almost touched the glue gun. Definitely didn't want to do that. There you go. Holding it together there so it stays in place. And you can start removing some of that hot glue gun web. There you go. Look at that. Doesn't that look pretty? I'm so excited. This is amazing. Okay, so I'm going to turn it around so you can see what we're doing on the other side, and we can add the rest of the decorations on the other side. Now we still have some of those little jingle balls, so that's going to be really cute. We're going to add that in there. And woo, I'm losing some stuff here. So I've got 2 more of these here that I can add, and for sure I want to cover that hole. Now for this one, I think I can take this off, the little topper where you can hang your ornament. I'm going to take it off because we don't need that bulky piece right there, because I'm going to press it in up against the floral foam. So I don't need that there. So there we go, give it a few seconds, hold on to it, and then do the same thing, take off the little cap there. Okay, and then take a step back, take a look to see where you can add some of that decoration. I actually think I'm going to add it right here, right in that corner. And go over that side so I can hold it in place. So it stays in there. I mean, I'm just so excited about this piece. This is looking really pretty. And I can already see, I may be able to give you a shot of, or just a view of what it looks like. So if I'm looking from the top down, there's definitely some bare spots that I need to cover up. So I can already tell I'm gonna have to add a little bit more of that garland, but they're gonna be smaller pieces because all we're doing is kind of inserting and kind of covering some of those bald spots. So, but I won't do that until I'm done with adding all the decorations, because I wanna make sure that these pieces are covering as much as possible. So then when I add some of that, those extra pieces of garland, it's not too much that I have to do. So I've got one more pine cone, trying to see where I can add that. And I'm wondering if I can add it in there. Nope, maybe in here. What do you guys think? I think that is a really good spot right there. So let's add some of that hot glue gun. Oh, I'm running out. Let me go grab some more. And there we go. Add some more in there. Fine. There we go. Not cooperating, but I got it now. Okay, so squeeze it in here, and so that hot glue is going to stick to the needles in there. And look how pretty. It's just sitting in there. It's nested in there. That is adorable. Okay, so now we've got to add, move this out of the way. Now we've got to add some of these fun little bells. This one doesn't have one. This one has it. But it's okay. I mean, it's not, you're not going to really need to hear the bells on this anyway, so I'm okay with that. So I think what I want to do with these, because they're a lot smaller, is I want to use them almost as like little pieces of decoration on the garland. So kind of like doing some of that. And these are doubles, like there's 2 sides to it. So this is where you would tie the string to hang maybe on a tree, or you know, whatever piece you're making. And then this is the decorative piece. So when you hot glue, keep that in mind. So see, maybe like I'll put one here like that. And then maybe one more. And then maybe I can do this here. Like there, facing up a little bit. Yep. I like that. We could also, maybe instead of there, put it here. But not really a fan of that position right there. So I think I like it more here. Maybe more snuggled against the ribbon. What do you guys think? I think we're going to do that. Alright, so start with this. Add some of that hot glue. And hold it in place, because remember, it'll move around if you don't. So you want it to stay. There you go. And then now this one. So I kind of want it snuggled on this side, so I'm going to use the hot glue gun on that side right there, so that it glues right into the ribbon. Give it a few seconds. Hold it in place. There you go. Oh, I have the other one here. Let me go back this way. We're here on this side. I think I said here, didn't I? Oh, I moved it. I think it's good. That'll be good right there. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna do that. And then now I'm gonna turn it around and we can work on the other side. I'm gonna add some more of those on this side. Oh, I had a runner. One of those little bells was popping out. You may have seen it. So I gotta hold it in place here. Okay. So let's do that here. So again, let's look for where we want to add this. I would like one right there. I think that would be cute. Let's see, how about, this side is actually has a lot more decorations. Many. That may not put that many. We'll see. I think we've got plenty going on there. Maybe I'll put one like right here. Okay. So let's do that. Let's add. Okay. Right in there. And that right here in the spot, it helped me cover up some of that wire that was holding the ribbon together. So that is a perfect spot for that. And this one, I think you said we're gonna put it on that end. So I think I wanna do it like this. Like there, like at the end, like decorating that little piece of garland. And you guys, we're almost done. The last step is to add some more of that filler. Now, I have a few more of these pieces, so I think I want to add some more of this. So, we got some spots that are kind of open right there. And I'm gonna go ahead and add this back here. I'll show you guys once I turn it around. I'll show you guys where I end up putting it. Almost hit that glue gun again. Oh. Okay. See? And let's see. Let me look this way. Let's see where else. Okay, so now we're just going to add a little bit more of that filler, and once we do that, we will be all done. Three, two, one. Okay, so last step, guys, and we're all done. So if you remember, I mentioned that there were a few spaces that needed I don't know if I can show you, but there's a few spaces. If I'm looking from top to bottom, there's a little bit of area here that needs to get filled in. So a couple things that you can do: use some more of the garland, which we're gonna do, and then you can also use a spray so that you can add some of that color inside. And so what you're seeing is not the floral foam, but you're seeing, you know, whether it's that shiny pretty gold or silver, whatever color you would like. I added a little bit of that in some areas that were just too visible, and that looked really pretty. So we're gonna go ahead, and now this time around, earlier I showed you guys how to cut it, but this time around I want to show you we're gonna need smaller pieces. So we're just gonna cut off, if I could find, where's the end? It's all, there we go, that's the end. So that's the last part of where I was cutting. So these are gonna be smaller pieces. So if you recall at the beginning, oh look, there we go, perfect. So these are actually tied into the large garland piece. So that's really all we need to do is just undo those little pieces. There you go. And so then you can use the bottom of that wire to kind of insert where you think that you're going to need to add some of that filler. And so I'm going to go ahead, add here. There we go. And then let's find that beginning again. Here you go. So I'm going to show you right here. There's this little brown piece that's been tied into the garland. And so I need to undo that piece right there. I'm trying to find. There you go. This one I think is not going to be that easy. So let's just do what we were doing earlier, which is cutting off that little piece. And remember, go all the way to the bottom because you need that extra piece of wire. So remember, this big buddy here helps to kind of get started, clips a little bit, but it's not going to go all the way through, at least not for this one. And then just use your hand, twist back and forth, back and forth. There we go. And if you need a little bit of extra help, you can also use this one right here. See, give it a little bit of extra pressure there, and then do the same thing again. Back and forth, back and forth. You need a little bit of patience sometimes. And this one's definitely testing my patience. Well, we're almost there. I can feel it. There you go. Yay. All right, so set this aside right here. So again, let's look for those bald spots and see how pretty that looks. Just a little piece, a little bunch right there. Find some of those bald spots. And so let me go to the front here. And there's a little nook right in here, a little spot where I can actually add some of that. Isn't that pretty? There you go. I have another one right here that I need to fill in. So we're gonna do the same thing there. And it's that keep losing the front part. There you go. Okay, perfect. And so this one right here, I think this is one of those that may in fact be wrapped around. We'll see. All right, so let's do that one more time. We're gonna get us started by clipping. Do that. Give it a little bit of pressure, and then back and forth, back and forth. Need a little bit of patience here. There we go. This is heavy duty garland. It's actually pretty good for $6.98 for 9 feet. You know, you can definitely use this outside, heavy duty. So there you go. Check that piece off. And so we have this one piece right here, or one area that needs to get filled in. Press in, and voila, there you go. It's all covered up right there. Okay, I could probably use another little piece down there. Oh, and look, this one just came out all on its own. Thank you. Saved me a little bit of time here. And there you go. Add right in there. Perfect. That is just perfect. So I'm going to turn it around. We'll continue doing the same. There we go, like that. Turn it this way. Okay, so again, let's identify where are those spots where we may need to fill in. I see for sure one right down here, probably another one right in there, and you see that right behind this little gold piece. That could be another spot. So we need for sure 3 pieces. So let's do some more arm wrestling with this thing. Bear with me. I think we're losing light, so thankfully we're almost done, but I'm hoping you can see the end piece. I'll probably take it inside so you guys could see what that final piece is with some good lighting. And while we're doing this, don't forget to subscribe. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I'm just starting to do these videos. I've always loved doing arts and crafts. I just find it very therapeutic, and I just love creating something from scratch. And just I don't set any expectations that, you know, it's got to look perfect, or, you know, it's got to look like it's been professionally made. I mean, all this stuff I do it, you know, to just enjoy in my home, or to share with, you know, friends and family. And so I don't put any expectations on myself that, you know, it's got to be perfect. And so again, because it's very therapeutic, I enjoy doing this. And then even better, final result. So here we go. So I've cut 2 pieces out. So I think I said we need a little bit of that filler in here. There you go. Perfect. And then we need a little bit of that filler, maybe right here. There we go. And I think I've got another little spot, and I had already said we need a little spot right there. So we've got 2 more pieces to go, guys, and then we're all done. Oh, perfect. This one's cooperated very quickly. So we're gonna move this a little bit because I want it right behind, because that's the spot I need it filled in. Push it in, back there. I'm gonna move it around a little bit. Perfect. And that little spot right there. And I may use a little bit more of the metallic gold spray, because I think that's going to help. There's a little spot in there, and I don't want to use an entire piece of this, so the metallic gold will help to cover that piece out. And that goes here. Push it in. Oh, it just popped one of our little balls. That's okay. I'm going to add a little bit of the hot glue gun in there. Okay, so make sure. There you go. Remember, hold it a few seconds, because especially with that floral foam, it could easily pop out. And guys, I think we're done. We've added everything, and there was just one little spot in here that I kind of wanted to cover. So I'm going to do that with the spray, and all you're going to see is some of that. There you go. See? I'm going to turn it around, show you guys the end result. I hope that you have fun, that you enjoy doing this piece. Let me get that ugly cardboard out of the way now that we're all done. Look at that, guys. Isn't that beautiful? Few dollars. Like I said, this was scrap wood. This was $1. This grand piece was just $1 at the Dollar Tree. All this ribbon, remember that really big old roll? It's only a couple dollars. you know, these, I got them for free in my backyard, in cones, pine cones, but, you know, again, you could buy at a local, you know, like Hobby Lobby or, you know, Home Depot, those stores. For a few bucks, you can get, you know, like 20 of them, 2 dozen. These were also from the Dollar Tree. I mean, if you want to add up and see how much we probably spent about $7-8 on this. And this piece right here, I saw something similar at Hobby Lobby, guys. It was $79.99. So with a little bit of time, a little bit of inspiration, you could build something amazing like this. Therapeutic. You could do it with your friends. You could do it with your sisters. I did, if you haven't seen the snow tree. I also did a Halloween tree. I did that one with my sisters and it was a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoy it. There's going to be a lot more projects that are coming up for the holidays. If you actually try this out, go ahead, you know, post your picture. I would love to see it. So thanks again for joining me in Nix and Nax, and I'll see you soon. Bye.